Tuesday on Your View. Welcome to the show. I am Morayo Afolabi Brown. As always, I have the latest with me. Get in the building.
Morayo, pretty in pink.
Yes, we're all in pink today. We're popping. Ladies in pink today. How you doing? And we didn't plan it though.
No.
Yeah, our spirit is just genuine.
Great minds.
Pink day.
That's what they say about great minds.
How you doing, YK?
So I had a very active weekend.
Oh, nice.
On Friday, I went for the debange dinner.
Yes, yeah.
And none of you were there. I was very upset not to see anyone.
I forgot.
Except for Amaka.
I forgot.
Amaka,
I
see no they pass on by.
I see they pass again.
No. That was how I was in those days. So now all day don't knock.
You had to stop you.
On Saturday, it was Obiajilu's husband's dinner birthday. Oh, I ate, and I did like 5 kilometers the next day. Because I even ate cake and ice cream. Imagine
yes,
cake and ice cream.
Me, I made sure I didn't eat anything from Sunday yesterday. This chips I ate this one is my first car because I had to find a way to remove all that excess fat from my body.
Excess. You know, they were serving some fish, this thing. I ate like
sushi.
10. No, the fish balls.
Oh, yes.
Happy birthday, Mr. Ugbo.
Happy
and then on Sunday, Ashake was at the shrine with Central C. They came to do videos. And then today,
the band
live at the shrine, free.
Oh. Hey. What time, YK?
It's from 7.
7 p.m. Okay.
So I can't miss it. I go do my work, run home, change, come back.
Oh, don't worry, we'll be there.
What's the dress code for that one?
It's rock now. You put your canvas. Don't go and overdress you. Amaka is coming again.
Yeah, I'm going to be there also. I have people I'm coming with. How you doing, Nima?
I'm fine. So I couldn't show up at the Banji's event. I really wanted to come because I offended Idris, who did everything to get us IV. But I don't go out during these first 10 days of the preparation to Idleya. I'm fasting.
Yes, what day again?
On Sunday.
Sunday?
Yes.
Oh, my Lord.
I'm in my Holy Spirit right now. You can find trouble, I'll be looking at you. That's why Zibiri has been getting away with all the trouble.
So it's Sunday, because Monday is a public holiday and we're having concert at Shrine again, Father and Son.
Monday, Tuesday should be public holiday. Government.
I need holiday.
Our holiday is
only 1 day.
No, Ilea is 3 days actually. So you can slaughter between Sunday, Monday.
Love Nigeria.
So since we have Sunday, each is a weekend, we are entitled to our 2 days.
So Monday and Tuesday.
So.
Oh, I can't wait. We don't know yet. Let's wait for the government to tell us. How you doing, Mariam Longe?
I'm doing fine. Really, I'm doing
Love
amazing.
the pink combo. I love the shoes. Really popping today.
Thank you. So I was at the passport office in Ikoyi. We need to give a shout out to the passport office in Ikoyi.
Wow.
The PCO Ojo. I think she's the head there, and they are doing an amazing job. You know what I liked is the last time that I was there was a while, so I've just gone for a renewal.
Right.
And the space for the children that they have, it shows forth. And you have, sometimes the queues are so long, you have children just being bored and tired, but they have this little play pen. Children are, I entertain. I'm like, we are thinking so now. That's why I'm like, well done.
She is a woman.
She is. Yes. I met her and she sent her love to all of us. They love us. And they said, well done for all the work that we're doing.
Fantastic. That's so good to know. And how long did it take, the process so far?
So I did mine online, and they were very courteous, very,
I've been hearing
very, very proud of them. Really.
Good reviews about the passport office.
It's been a while I've been there. The last time I was there was quite a bit. And even the structures, everything looks much better now.
Yes. I was so impressed when I was coming into the country with the immigration. They were well dressed, decent. They had, they were courteous. They tell you where to line up. Some people were saying, we're already arrogant. They didn't even look at those ones. They just did their job, stay here, they'll call you when it's next. They thought maybe they wanted some bribe. Nobody collected any money from anybody. Just did their job. I
know, because
they're really trying to improve.
Jumoke, when her in-laws came for her uncle's funeral, they got their passports very fast. So
well done.
They were very seamless.
Everything well arranged. You know where you're staying, your waiting room, everything. You go, they call you.
Shows improvement.
Well done.
The minister should be commended also.
Okay, let's go on.
Maria's husband brought her to work today.
Oh my goodness!
Oh, really? And you guys did something today afterwards?
We did it last night. We did it this morning. I'm not sure.
Oh, so you're at the hotel. So you're not home. Wait, help us. Give us. Nima. Oh my goodness! Look at these children. They are not.
I missed it. They're so innocent.
I missed it.
They moved me away from my job. I didn't miss it.
They did it yesterday. I did this morning, and they're doing it again today.
Oh, hallelujah! Oh, okay. Sorry, I missed the information. Elijah, now you know you are supposed to be holy. Yeah, your holy season. Now you get that kind of message.
Yeah, I'm a nonsense person.
Let's go on a break. When I come back, we'll look at the front pages of the paper. Stay with us right back.
Stay tuned. Your View will be right back.
Okay, we're going to start with the nation. Southwest governors go into massive food production. Rivers G27 lawmakers remain PDP members. Court rules. Argungu replaces Arashe as PSC chair. Eagles World Cup qualification shaky. Alleged 423 billion naira fraud. EFCC raises team to probe El Rufai and others. Nigeria conducive for business, Edwin tells multinationals. And Sirika's in-law failed to execute 2.8 billion naira contract, ex-director tells court. Okay, which story?
I have the major headline. And Southwest governors had their meeting hosted by the governor of Lagos State yesterday, Governor Babajide Sanwo-Olu, where they unanimously just gave him chairman of the forum in replacement for late Governor Akeredolu, who held the position quite honorably when he was alive. And then in that meeting, they also, one of the key things they discussed was food security, where they immediately directed all their commissioners of agriculture of all southwestern states to begin to meet and work up a template that would ensure collaboration based on the state's comparative advantage. So I'm looking and expecting Osun and Oyo to increase production of food, because those are the strength areas in the southwest. They also, like I said earlier, voted and appointed Governor Babajide Sanwo-Olu as the next governor. In that meeting also, they commended the federal government for what they are doing on food security. And then they went on to talk about some decayed roads in the geopolitical zone. I love that the first one was the Lagos-Songota to Abeokuta road. That road is a death trap. The Ibadan to Ilesha Expressway, the Akure to Ado-Ekiti Highway, the Ibadan-Oyo-Ogbomoso to Ilorin Highway, and all the governors that attended agreed that these are areas that they would like the federal government to intervene. Yeah. Most of them are federal roads.
Okay.
So they appointed Sanwo-Olu. Congratulations to Governor Sanwo-Olu. I'm hoping that, the federal roads within Lagos, the ones I've been talking with Governor about, when you are trying to ascend the Igomu Bridge now to relay the trap. Yeah. We are now climbing the Kini, or you go through Breweries to cut it off and join at Eric Moore. It's still a trap. And expose us to the boys like that.
I have the tripartite committee on national minimum wage. They are going to be taking their reports to the president after the labor leaders return from the International Labour Organization conference that is being held in Geneva, Switzerland. So the panel, as we know, it comprises of representatives of the federal government, the labor and organized private sector, OPS, and they ended negotiations on Friday. they said at the close of talks, the government team and the OPS representatives proposed 62,000 naira as minimum wage, while Labour proposed 250,000 naira. We have the representatives for the governor, Hopu Zodima, who is a technical member. He said that the Nigerian Governors Forum might not, that's the states might not be able to pay this 62,000 naira. Anyways, they're saying that the formal representation of the report will be made to the president upon the return of the leadership of Switzerland, and then the leadership at International Labour Conference. Then the Assistant General Secretary of NLC, Chris Onyeka, has reaffirmed the position of Labour leadership that only 250,000 is acceptable as minimum wage. So it seems we're still at an impasse, but we'll hear, what comes of it when they finally present this to the president. And then once he assents, then it will go to the National Assembly.
All right, so the federal government remains committed. So yesterday, the Minister of Finance and Coordinating Minister of the Economy, Mr. Wale Adu, met with Microsoft Nigeria in Abuja. And he said that the federal government remains committed to creating conducive environment for foreign investors to expand their business in Nigeria. And he said that the administration is committed definitely to ensure that they have a very supportive place to expand their business. He was speaking with the country manager, Olatomiwa Williams. Says that their meeting signifies a crucial step towards establishing a collaborative relationship that will drive economic growth and innovation in Nigeria. So he was also appreciating Microsoft's presence in Nigeria and the fact that they've been able to employ quite a bit of Nigerians. Said we understand the strategic importance of sector leaders like Microsoft, their commitment and potential to collaborate with us in areas such as cybersecurity, youth upskilling, and others which are vital for the economic growth.
So yesterday, the Green Eagles, Super Eagles, sorry, lost their match to Benin Republic at the Felix Houphouët-Boigny Stadium in Abidjan yesterday. They has brought them now to the second from the bottom on their group. So their chances for winning the World Club qualifier are becoming slim. A lot of Nigerians are very sad about their because the last match with South Africa, it was Zimbabwe, sorry. It was a 1-1 draw. So they had to win this to be on top. The cheaters of Benin Republic have flown with 7 points, and we are still down, I think, 3 points. He's the coach.
The coach.
New coach.
And he's the coach.
He's a new coach now. They
want to kill him on Twitter.
I was seeing some clusters of men all over the place, and they're talking about just saying if you need the judge.
Even when I was coming, I was saying this has to even be a hot topic because they were arguing out here.
Yes, now.
And there were some people who were blaming Finidi George and the sports for TVC. Were saying it's not Finidi George's fault. Why would they bring a coach? They knew their coach was leaving. Why just 3 weeks to the qualifier? You don't have any.
Anyways, it's not our hot topic. Let's move on to the.
It's not, but
to the coach.
Actually, a hot topic.
Smuggled Nigerian petrol floods West African markets, sells at 1,700 to the litre. Southwest Governors Forum insists on state police elect Sanwo-Olu as chair. Reps propose rotational presidency, 6-year single term. Police foil American suicide attempt on 3rd Mainland Bridge. 2.7 billion naira fraud. Ex-directors testifies against Sirika. Tinubu removes Arashe as PSC chair, appoints Argungu. FGE services debt with $2.2 billion in 5 months, says CBN. And minimum wage, Labour insists on 250,000 naira with Tinubu's verdict. Okay.
So, major headline, the Nigerian Customs boss was addressing press yesterday, and he mentioned that our fuel, where would they suffer the manage here? Since subsidy was removed, I started selling ridiculously in West African countries from as high as 1,450 to 1,700 per litre across our border countries. And Nigerians are the ones in the business of smuggling the fuel across the border. And they are partnering with the Office of the NSA to curb this. According to him, they are working assiduously with empowered by the law creating the custom service to curb it. So he called out on the border states that are with the highest cases of evacuation. Kebbi and Katsina are those states where you see more of that happening. And when they get there, of course, because of the difference, they are making money. So the customers launched an Operation Whirlwind under the office of the NSA, which we deal with them. And I hope that they're able to.
Okay.
All right, let's go on.
To comment on this, Sham. Yes, I just wanted to say, when I was going to Benin, I saw, you know, where they smuggle these cars, where these cars with the
big tanks.
They were doing it there. There was custom, immigration. Everybody was there, and they are making those cars. Yeah. So we are all complicit.
Yeah. Okay, tell me something I don't know. Let's go on a short break. When we come back, we continue with our review. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
Stay tuned. Your view.
Doubt and fear doesn't occur at the canvas. It shows in the canvas. It shows the conation of raw earthen material slabbed, stroked and molded at a pace provided by the doubt and fear. Every move weigh in the struggle of one to the other, merging the past to the present, brushstrokes of colors seen but not known. For when the wailing stops, the pieces settle down in abject beauty erected for a century of a century. Speaking, advocating, protesting as the arts are meant to be.
Ladies and gentlemen, make welcome the one who can make time stand still forever, Mr. Kelechi Amadi. How are you doing, sir?
I'm good, my brother.
You love that intro, Abi?
Yeah. It was great.
Okay.
Thank you.
We try like that.
Thank you.
Now my question, which I feel is a cheap question.
Oh, go ahead.
What does ISO stand for?
That is it. I think I will drink.
No, you're joking.
I'm not joking.
Kelechi Amadi. No. Shay, you didn't whine me. You're whining me now.
I think I will drink.
Huh?
No problem.
Okay.
I've always known it as ISO. I never bothered to know what it means. I know what it means, but I never bothered to know what the acronym is. Tell me the brand of camera that I use, so much so that I even became an ambassador. That's very easy. It's out there.
It's supposed to be, yeah.
I just said, let me give you this one as a token of my appreciation.
Sony.
Drink!
Wait, I'm not done. You did not say final answer.
It's final answer.
You did not ask me if that was my final answer.
You don't have any choice again. It's only
Nikon.
How many cameras do they have? My
Nikon.
friend to drink. I gave you a very easy something.
Nikon now.
Come closer. Now this is not a magic trick, but I'm about to show you the best breakfast show on television. Ready? 3, 2, 1, go.
This is Wake Up Nigeria.
On Wake Up Nigeria, we take your mornings from drab to fab. A quick look at the newspaper headlines to keep you updated on news and current affairs. There's sports, great features and places to go, and things to do.
47, 48, 49, 50, it's okay.
It's lights, cameras, and movie madness because we squeeze the best blockbusters into bite-sized reviews. Our award-winning and sometimes Guinness World-breaking chefs perform a culinary masterpiece every single morning inside of the kitchen that leaves us salivating and asking for more. Our book reviews is always a page-turner with thrilling stories, gripping memoirs, and fascinating tales. We keep you entertained with music performances, trending topics, and fun Friday games. And on traffic today from Shasha bus stop.
So you guys plan to set me up?
Nah. 60 seconds is not enough to tell you all about Wake Up Nigeria. It's like trying to fit a T-Rex inside of a teacup. You'd have to tune in every morning at 7 a.m. to enjoy a whirlwind of excitement, laughter, and unforgettable moments. Wake Up Nigeria, your ticket to a fabulous start every weekday morning.
Thanks for staying with us. We're still reviewing Punch. Let me take the story. So our president has removed Marashi. According to the story, President Bola Tinubu has appointed a retired Deputy Inspector General of Police, Hashimu Agungu, as the new chairman of the Police Service Commission. The appointment brought to an end the tenure of a retired Inspector General of Police Solomon Arashi as the chairman of the commission. The new appointment was announced in a statement by the Special Advisor on Media and Publicity, Nigerian Galali. So it's read that the president approved the appointment of DIG Hashimu, and the president also approved the appointment of Chief Onyemuchie Nnamani as secretary, and DIG Taiwo Lakanu retired as a member of the commission. The appointments are subject to confirmation by the Senate. Other members of the Police Service Commission will be appointed in due course. So that's really good because Police Service Commission is a critical part that handles the welfare of police. So it's good to see changes, and hopefully they will see some real effects on the police.
I have a bill that's seeking a single term of 6 years for the president and state governors. Was brought up on Monday by 35 members of the House of Representatives. They're also canvassing for the rotation of the presidency among the 6 geopolitical zones. So these legislators under the auspices of reform-minded legislators. That's what they call themselves. And they said that, you know, that they feel that it's important to interrogate challenges that face in Nigeria. Which we should not be scared or be in fear when we discuss some of these things. We should not we should never fear to discuss. They also believe that proposing this would bring about better unity for our country as a whole, because the rotation of the offices, you know, along the geopolitical zones will really ensure that, you know, there's equal representation, reduced desperation, and tempo of agitation for creation of states. And yeah, so it's something to discuss.
Yeah.
Okay. So the police foiled the attempt of suicide by an American citizen. He was driven to the bridge, to the Third Mainland Bridge by his baby mama. When they got to the Third Mainland, he now asked her to park and then started to walk towards where he was going to jump off.
Nigerian American or American?
American, they said an American citizen. Yeah. They didn't say, they withheld his name, and they didn't identify his baby mama. Apparently, they said she didn't know why they were going there. He was in his 30s. They said they just saw him walking towards there, and they went there, and they took them to the Lausa police RRS.
Okay, let's move on now to leadership. Compressed natural gas, conversion cost infrastructure deficit threatens CNG initiative. Il Kabir, prices soar, RAM sells for $1 million in Kaduna. CDN dismisses license revocation rumors. Plane carrying Malawi's vice president missing. Minimum wage, we won't resume strike for now, says Ajero. And Edo Ondo polls, INEC warns corrupt officials against compromise.
Yeah, I have, as we know, Eid al-Kabir celebration is coming, and Nima is prepared for it. But unfortunately, RAM sellers say that the prices have gone way up. They said that what you would have gotten for 100,000 naira last year goes for 200,000 and 250,000 this year. As you know, some large rams cost from 700,000. That used to be 700,000. You buy them for 900,000 to 1 million naira for ram. 1 million naira.
Security.
Anyway, you know, the sellers are lamenting. They said they don't even have people coming to even price the market anymore because they understand that the prices have gone up. The inflation rate is so high. And so that is, you know, that's the state of things right now. As we know, this is a very important, killing a ram is a very important part of this celebration for the Muslims, and it's going to be tough on them because of the prices.
Based on capacity, so if you can't afford it, it's okay. Just share with your neighbors and friends, and that's why those of you that can afford it must share and make sure that there's celebration in the houses of your neighbors around you as well.
Okay, so let me take the CNG story, because critical stakeholders have highlighted 2 factors that could actually impede the drive towards conversion to CNG. If you recall, the president and the government have been trying to help us to have an alternative to the PMS and have the CNG as a fuel for our cars. So many have said that the cost of conversion is actually very high. Much of the governments have seen the transformation as the central component in Nigeria's energy strategy. They are worried. Data is obtained by leadership is saying that converting petrol vehicles with 1.6-liter engines would cost between 300,000 naira and 400,000 naira, while tricycles with 4-stroke engines would cost between 100,000 and 200,000. Lorries and vans may cost as much as 1.8 million naira, while 4-stroke petrol generator engines will cost 90,000 naira. So these are some of the factors that might impede the conversion of citizens of their cars to CNG option, but we'll see how that goes.
In the long run, it will be worth it.
Yeah, in the long run.
In the short term, it will be expensive, but in the long run...
Vanguard, 10th National Assembly, 24 senators have no bill in 1 year. Reps propose single tenure of 6 years for presidents and governors. Tinubu replaces IGP, we talked about that earlier. Minimum wage, SGF, receives tripartite committee report. Algon rejects 22,000 minimum wage. PDP members, 25 lawmakers, Rivers government disagree over court order. And NDDC proposes 1.91 trillion naira as 2024 budget. Okay?
Okay, so I have the major headline. Under the 10th Assembly, Vanguard did a complete report. And out of the 109 senators that we have in the 10th Assembly, only 85 have sponsored bills.
That's a large number.
It's large. Only 85, 24 have not had a bill sponsored. And they now did a breakdown of those who were ex-governors who became senators. And out of the 13 of them, only 9 have sponsored bills. Amongst the 4 that did not sponsor is my former governor in Edo State, Senator Adam Soshomole. I don't know what he was doing.
Well, we know that it's not for...
Serake Dixon of Bayelsa to Nobi. Simon Lalong. We know that Simon just came back.
But they concur with others now. They concur.
No, they must have.
Not the reason why they are there. Of Adam Soshomole. Ex-Labour, SS. The profile is long.
Remember the sort of cut his wings when he first got in. He had said a few things and had to apologize. So I'm sure now he's saying, let me watch myself before they get upset.
That thing affected him. Yeah. You know, Ningi just came from suspension. Yeah. So,
focusing, he didn't do his work. He's focusing on who is padding which budget.
But funnily, before Senator Umahi became Minister for Works, he had sponsored the bill.
Yeah.
Yes, on the floor, Senator Gedam too, who was just coming to, had
we hear Gedam's name all the time.
Yes, all the time. Okay. So there are several, all the 24 no-show lawmakers, let me not read their names. But we have...
Read them, right?
No, so that the constituencies can go and ask them questions.
Yeah,
Why? No, we can't read them. We can't even read. We can't buy Vanguard.
Like
No, why? We don't have time. We have to run. The Nigerian Tribune, but please, Nigerians, go and check and buy Vanguard and see. The Nigerian Tribune, 35 reps seek rotational presidency, single tenure of 6 years. Southwest governors restate support for state police. Founder Stanbic IBTC, Atedo Peterside, retires after 35 years in service. Liquidity, bane of power sector, says Finance Minister. Attorney General disagrees with court ruling on 26 Rivers Assembly members. Labour never contemplated 100,000 naira wage, let alone 62, says NLC. FG states LGs are 1.1 trillion naira May revenue. And Tinubu removes Arashe as Police Service Commission. Let me take the Minister of Finance and Coordinating Minister of Economy, Mr. Wale Adun, who identified that liquidity, we all know, as the greatest encumbrance facing the power sector in the country. He was saying this on Monday in his presentation before the Senate Committee on Power in its ongoing investigation of the controversial makeup gas MUG reprocessing deal. He was represented by his special assistant, Malam Dahiru Moyi. The Minister of Finance noted that agreement on the gas supply between NPDHC and ACU Gas Limited was inherited by the former President Muhammadu Buhari, just as the Minister of Justice was not aware of the contract. There's issue with contracts anyway, but generally, liquidity is a major problem. I think the Minister of Power himself has said that, and that's why they had to increase the tariff on the certain groups called Bande, and hoping that it's getting liquidity. I doubt if it's helping out, because many people are choosing to go and buy solar, or choosing right now, when maybe I go to my former house to go and iron. I told my guys, we got all our clothes, go and iron it in the other former, we still have the other house. Because that one's banned, see, something. So it's cheaper there.
When there's light.
When there's light, we go there to iron our clothes. We're going there. Even washing machine says I'm going to start going there and wash our clothes over there. Can't be using band A.
But yeah, just get prepaid meter. I don't think it's that bad.
We're trying to get prepaid meter, but it's great. Yeah, look for options. So the money he thinks he's going to get, they're finding options. I don't know.
Protests rocked over EFCC invasion of nightclubs. Some youths in Akure, in Ondo State capital, caused gridlock around the town on Monday as they protested the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission, EFCC, over the sting operation carried out in some nightclubs in the state. Just the club owners too came out. They are known as the Ondo State Lounge and Club Owners Association. They all came out. They said apparently EFCC went to their clubs at about 1 a.m., raided, arrested 127 people, and so they are protesting that this is not right. We don't have time, so I can't really go into the full...
I still don't understand how EFC raids...
It's based on...
They're supposed to have warrants.
But they usually do, actually. They
but even a warrant saying to raid a lounge, to raid...
I think they have, when they have probable cause.
The EFCC are saying is they are... what do you call this? Fraudsters, internet fraudsters.
So they had come together, okay.
They rally you up before they investigation.
No, but it might be true. Those people occupying
to catch them while they are spending?
Students.
That's why you see this is not a hotel. This is
a lounge.
Lounge and a hotel. There were two, a club and two.
No, what I'm saying is that did they catch them like doing?
They rally everybody up first. Maybe
before they'll find out if they're living out of their means. Because they're supposed to be in school.
Where is human rights there? I know people...
I agree with you, YK. You know, I told the story on Monday on human rights.
I would rather you catch a fraudster.
Nigerians who are removing the lights on Milan Bridge. Nigerians who are removing the metal from Second Niger Bridge. And this is what they're talking about human rights. No, they will do human rights when all of us are sane and do human rights. Not these Nigerians who just carry themselves to the club.
These people that are in the club.
No, but could it be based on
investigation? Them when they are removing the lights. Catch them when they are removing the railings.
Who are you going to be? Are you the one that's going to be there to catch them?
But they catch some of them now.
CCTV cameras there.
Okay, the point is that sometimes I'm not defending them. I'm just saying that there's always probable cause for a law enforcement agent to enter any place. He will not just go there just go and read people. There's reason. Either he has intelligence, send that people there.
What of the ones that are happening that they don't even go near there?
Yeah, of course, they can be everywhere. They can be everywhere.
Here.
No. Yes, they can be there. Let's go on the break. It's not our hot topic today. Stay with us. We'll be right back. Many places can they be at the time?
Stay tuned.
I'm Miriam Lunge. I'm a passionate environment advocate and a published author.
I am the founder of Celebration, a businesswoman, and a fashion icon.
I am a wealth coach and a real estate developer.
I am Amako Arakwe. I'm a corporate commercial lawyer and an entrepreneur.
Barkamu da warhaka. I am Ramatu Shehu Oyibo, an entrepreneur and a business coach.
I am the voice of an average Muslim woman, an hijabite, and a lawyer.
I am a polymath and a serial entrepreneur.
I am Murayo Afolabi Brown, Managing Director, TVC Entertainment. I'm a media consultant, producer, and broadcaster.
The ladies of Your View are made of women from different professions, tribes, cultures, and religion. Join us every Monday to Friday as we share our views on topical and social issues.
Welcome to Pure Entertainment. What would you like to order from our menu today? We have the regular.
So let me go and look for my jam results.
My 20 was 320. I suppose don't be one medical.
At this point, I contest my jam results.
I want to close the show.
I can go. I can.
Okay, that's all we can take. Ejeki, close the show.
Ladies and gentlemen, number one, Unavailable by Davido featuring Musa Keys.
We also have today's chef special.
Yo, shine, 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 shiny, yeah. Say recap done, and it's time for number one on the countdown. One of Nigeria's hottest artists right now, his name is Rema, and this one is called Charm. Kick it.
Another.
For dessert and a bit of nightcap, we have the nighttime and online specials.
I want to start the gym, yeah? But do you know one thing that's actually keeping me back? You should start the gym though, you're getting fat.
Cricket.
She says she does pole dancing to empower women.
What's the difference?
There's a difference.
That's what I'm saying. So pole dancer, you're already almost naked. You're already almost naked.
No, the empowerment for me.
Sex can make your relationship better.
No.
Sex can never be overrated.
It is needed.
Especially when it's good sex too. Almost every guy has been with somebody's girlfriend.
But they are for all of us now.
That's why you're still single.
I would not agree or disagree with that because I don't want to get into trouble. I have a home to go to.
Your next question.
Oh, you ready to fail?
Who is the person that used to us? What is his name?
That woman.
Bam! Bam!
Yeah, today we'll go here.
Hey.
Let's catch up.
I'm sure we've been able to satisfy your cravings, yeah? Stay good. TVC Entertainment for Pure Entertainment.
Thanks for staying with us. So according to reports we read in Punch, Russia is allegedly sending thousands of migrants, including Nigerians and foreign students, to fight in the war against Ukraine. Moscow also, they've been enlisting convicts from their prisons, while some Africans in Russia on work visas have been detained and forced to decide between deportation or fighting, one European official had said. So according to the reports by Punch, said that the Kremlin has engaged a global recruitment drive to enlist foreign mercenaries in at least 21 countries, including several African nations. Army recruitment campaigns offer lucrative signing bonuses and salaries for those who will join as contract soldiers. Recruiters have also targeted migrants and students who previously looked for employment in Russia, and in some cases have lured others over the promises of lucrative work before forcing them to train or deploy to the front. So obviously it's a bargaining tool, because if you do go to war with us and we win the war, I can give you permanent residency, I can give you job, work permit, whatever it is. So it's a contractual agreement. What are your thoughts on this? Because Nigerians obviously on social media are not finding this funny. You can call us on 081 0764 1679 090 241 You can also tweet to us at TVC Connect. Please hashtag YourViewTVC so we can read your tweets.
So, I read the part of the story.
I'm afraid of letting Nima go first.
Okay, let me
go first.
Okay, I don't know about, like, you in your introduction, you're trying to make it seem like it was sort of some symbiotic relationship. For me, it's looking like modern-day slavery. You know, how do I pay? First of all, as a student, I use my money, I come to your country, I pay for my fees, then you force me to fight a war for you. So I'm now paying to fight war for you. People are paid, do you understand, to join. And it's not transactional in the sense that it's fair on the migrants or it's fair on Africans. You are threatened with deportation or your visa is not going to be renewed. Why? When there are so many Russians in your country, why can't they fight your war for you? When I come into your country, I bring value. When I come to work in your country, I come with my skills. So I'm giving you value. Why are you then forcing me, to fight wars for you? And the very interesting thing about it is that the migrants that they put together, they said the troops suffer especially high casualty rates. So they're not trained to be soldiers. They're not trained to fight in wars. You know that. So you use them like a human guard, a human shield, so that by the time they finish them, your own people will be getting ready for retaliation. And I think that this is such an important issue that government needs to look into. Nigerians should also not be so desperate as to want to live in Russia for, exactly what do we get from Russia, please? Like, what are the things that we get from Russia? The corruption is as high as here in Nigeria, if not, if not worse. They have so many issues as well as an European. Yes, they can be a powerful country, but they also have many issues with corruption and dictatorship with their leaders. So I don't even know what the...
You're not on Band-Aid, at least they have electricity. Let me come
I
see
wish
you.
That is not enough for anybody to stay in the war zone. So Russia is at war with its neighbor. And by their history, they are brothers. They even share the same name. How did it concern my ancestors that you are now threatening that you will not extend visas for African students or young workers, African workers, unless they agree to join your military? Why? That's under duress. That's forcing somebody to come. Even if the Africans now join and say, okay, if truly it was transactional, there was one document existing, that's still under duress. That's giving them, taking out their options of freedom to say, I don't know the beginning of the war, it didn't concern me, I just came here to work. And Nigerians too, or Africans too, we should, look within. We should stay at home. We should stay at home. Russia and Ukraine, because once they put out an advert and people were opting to go to these countries to work. Nigerians who knew they were at war, they were saying there was one comedy that happened at the time where Nigerians were saying, Russia, just send plane, pack us, let's go, to war. And we make jokes of this kind of serious thing.
Let me come in here for a second, because the only reason why Africans or Nigerians won't go to Russia is because somebody has died and fought for the nation you're coming to benefit from.
Exactly.
They had their own wars in the past where they have been able to build the economy to the point where you feel you can live there. So if you want to benefit from an economy that somebody else has died for, are you not willing to also die for that same economy that you're willing to come and live in? So if you are coming to my country, you must be, and right now we're in a state of war. Just imagine you're in America, and America is saying, okay, right now we're in war with China. And they say, if you fight in this war, I give you citizenship. If you fight in this war, I give you work permits. You left your own country because somebody fought for America for where it is. Same thing with Russia. Their people have died in the past. So you also want to benefit from that economy. You better be willing to fight. That's how I would see it as a Russian. You are coming to my country to benefit from the sweat of our forefathers who have made our economy strong enough for you to come and live in.
Very valid.
We're in a crossroads now. We're in crossroads right now. We need you to also fight this time. Show us that you want to live with us. And then we can also be part
very valid.
I don't think
it's
very valid.
There's no validity.
No, it's valid.
Because if I come to you as a student, I'm coming with my money. I'm paying into your schools. You're not giving me for free.
No, Russia is not one of those countries that are on education tourism.
The reason I came to work in your country is because I have skills, and you understand those skills, and you employed me in your workforce because you understand those skills.
We're also getting value too when you come. You come in because you're coming from your war-torn Africa, remember? Your country where you're coming from your own country.
Not everybody that is living Africa is living because there's war going on or there's hunger going on. Sometimes we go for just bigger opportunities.
Absolutely.
But I am paying to be there. When I work in your country, I'm giving value. You must need my value for you to want to employ me. Are there no Russians? Why are you employing me? Do you understand? So that is one. Then for the ones you're talking of America, people have fought the war. If I am an American citizen, realize as an American citizen, and I want to fight your war, I will, as an American citizen. But you will not dangle, and it's not like you're even offering me on the stands of, do this for us so we can do this. You're saying, if you don't do this, we will deport you. If you don't do this, we'll not renew your visa. That is bullying. I don't know. That's
I understand.
Yeah, I just wanted to go to, well, you won't even like my own angle because my own angle is government. If government made our country conducive, we will stop going there. Let us start looking inwards and making it a situation where we want to stay here. And we stop going and disgracing ourselves up and down, forcing us to go and fight war. Let us make Nigeria where everybody wants to be. Because, see, the way we jackpot now, you jackpot to Ukraine, Russia, where those are not even...
Russia,
when you go to, I can even hear London, America, France, Ukraine, Kosovo, Croatia, come on. What has happened to Nigerians? We have lost our pride for wanting to be in Nigeria.
North Korea, South Korea, all the Korea.
Some of them are in North Korea. There is nowhere you go in this world. You go to Alaska, you will meet Nigerians there. And it's because it is not conducive. This economy, this society is not conducive. EFCC can come to your house anytime without warrant and carry you. They will say because you're an internet fraudster.
I don't agree.
You have not, excuse me, you have not made my country where we want to be. I remember a time, the first time I went to England, when I got to the visa place, it was just, you enter, you sit down with the person, no queue, no nothing, they interview you and you go. They called my office to see if I was working there and they gave me my visa. No, before then, it was just, if as a Commonwealth citizen, you could go and come back. Now, go to they even take your money. And they don't give you visa.
Yes.
Yes, they're making
a lot of money to fight for you.
4.3 million
they are looking at
was made from cancelled Schengen visas.
I hear you. I get your passion. We all have the same passion. But you see, governance is a two-way street. You can't expect, we always think that somebody will just enter governance and just fix the whole problem. No. We also, as a people, that person, that internet fraudster is also messing up our own image internationally because in fact, when foreign families have been deprived of their life savings because that child who is in that room, that if EFCC is coming to raid their room, they have stripped the whole family of their life savings. So there's two-way streets. I hear you. Yes, government, you always think that government is one special breed of people that we just put in there and fix Nigeria. It doesn't happen like that. I was telling somebody recently that if we look at the caliber of people who are ministers, you see that the coordination of the finance and the coordination, the Minister of Finance and coordination of economy, you can't get any better. So if he's doing what he can do to help us fix our economy and he's still not fixing, right now we have to fix it ourselves. So the point is that there's no help out there. It is we Nigerians, us, we're going to fix it. So government will do their own part. But we as a people, You stop stealing government electricity that we've been screaming about 10 million bridge for many years. They have finally managed themselves to go and fix it. And you, Nigerian, you remove the light and go and sell it. Why?
So we have a taste.
It's a two-way street.
Just as you said, we have a taste for foreign goods, foreign lifestyle. Anything out of this country, let me just say, I go, I come back. I just landed, you know. I just went to Russia. I kept Kivia and all of this. And, you know, you greet your people. There are schools in Nigeria here, but would rather. What are those special skills that, you know, when you learn in Russia, when you come back to Nigeria, you put them to use and they'll change the country? What exactly is it? It's just for a larger percentage of the people, just as Miriam was saying, for a larger percentage of people, they are not going to Russia because they have special skills that they are going to add value. They are only going there for better earning power and anything but here. You go there, you take up the worst jobs in Russia, and you say they should not offer you, they should not dangle deportation in your face. You don't even have a house. Nigerians are sleeping on the streets abroad. They would rather. The other day, they opened the videos of Nigerians camping on the field in Canada. But they would rather. Schengen visa, 4.3 million euros a year of cancelled visas that they made and that they didn't refund. And Nigerians still look at it as an option. Constantly, that's a market. Nigerians are feeding.
So, to what Miriam said earlier,
you don't kill a rat.
There are those Nigerians who are skilled, educated. They migrate. Those ones are different. They are going there intentionally. There are those like the ones you just described. They have no plans. They only just let me get visa and jackpot. Those ones, you've come here. We don't even, the papers are not even recognized you. We are saying for me not to deport you, because I should legally deport you. No, I'm not going to deport you. I will give you an option. Fight in the war. And then if you fight and we win, I will not become. So it's an option. So it's not the educated ones who are coming for fight.
You work with a multinational who sought your service. You are unlikely to fall under the category of people they will dangle. That multinational would have gotten your visa for you to stay, to work with them. They will get your housing, they will provide for you.
Exactly.
But when you jackpot and you pass Poland with your
now we are meeting ourselves halfway. We are hitting
cross the lagoon, what's the Mediterranean, and you find your way to go and be camping on the roadside.
You are the one they will dangle that.
They will dangle in front of
let me take this call from Francis is calling from Akwa Ibom. Good morning, Francis. You're live.
Good morning.
Good morning, sir.
Miriam, thank you very much for what you have said. If I have entered Russia or I have entered any country and you're now dangling whatever you're dangling, if I say I don't want to, I didn't go there by what we call the jackpot syndrome. Even if I jackpot, you approved my visa to enter there. I have a target and that is what I'm going for. I think, anyway, on a very light note now, I have to say, the person who can explain this thing for us to really understand in a language that even Russians will understand is Honorable Patrick of Bayago. If he says this, if he explains this, people will understand better. We have Boko Haram fight here. Why don't we pack foreigners, dangle before them and send them to that place? It is not because we don't know what we are doing there. A lot of the Igbos, Hausas, every tribe are in different countries. Going to other countries is not a crime. When you go there purposely because you want to add value, then nobody should tell you, if you don't do this, then we will send you back. When I was coming, you did not tell me that is one of the criteria. Please, let us not, because our country is like this, we also join the people to say we are bad. Nigeria is not bad. Aliko Dangote, who is the richest man in Africa, is making it in Nigeria. So let us do what we have to do and keep our pride and not allow people to use us anyhow.
Exactly. Let's not be cheap labor. It's when you're cheap labor, even in our country here, there's a way you carry yourself. Foreigners come here and abuse Nigerians as cheap labor. We rush to those countries. We get to Sudan, we're abused. We get to Morocco. The African countries like ourselves, we're abused. We're constantly trying to find our way dishonorably to anybody's country. Why are we squatting? Why are we, grouped up in a room somewhere in Sudan? We cannot live a dignified life. And you think that is an option? Yeah. If travel not go back home. Yeah.
You see, I was sorry, Miriam. You see, when I'm talking about the conduciveness of our society, I'm not blaming this present government only. I'm not blaming finance minister or CBN. I'm not. I don't even know them. What I'm trying to say is that successive governments have led to what has become Nigeria of today, where everybody thinks that life outside Nigeria is better than life inside Nigeria. Yeah. So we're all conditioned to now believing that there is no hope here. The hope is on the outside. So what you have is millions of Nigerians living outside Nigeria.
Yeah. Yeah. So that's what I was going to say, that I have, when you first made the point, like I have agreed with her, you know, but the other half, which is Nigerians are leaving bad Nigeria to go to even as bad countries or worse countries. So it's not about how bad our country then is. It's about our mindset. Where we think no matter what, as long as we are outside the shores of Nigeria, then it's better than Nigeria. But we have seen time and time again that it is not necessarily true. Every country has its issues. Every country has its problems. And their own people have a mindset where, you know, it is that they will work better for their country. They will do what they need to do so that their country will be better. And they are willing to even use Africans to get the job done. So why don't we also start working on our mindset and our sense of patriotism, that we would, you know, that we understand this is our problem. And the only people who can solve it is us. No traveling abroad or going anywhere will make it, you know, will make it different. It's just like when you're in your house, there are some people, no matter where they come from, I used to say this, you know, about some people that I know, no matter what humble backgrounds that they come from, there's just this pride about, you know, about where they are from. And then you have some people who will complain about everything going on in their lives. And you go to their house, they are living better than you, and you're wondering, why are you so upset about it? So that is how it is with Nigerians. We complain so much of our country. We don't see the good that we have. And then we go there, they are now treating us as slaves and asking you, dangling renewal of visa. Renewal of visa.
We have to wrap up, but I think I still understand. I'm putting myself in the position of a Russian. They are losing 1,200 persons per day. They decided to go.
That we are not
you that you will not come to my country to eat my burger, to come and use my electricity, to come and drink my water. You now won't join us with
No. Mariah, do you know why I disagree with you? Yes. Americans, don't they go there? It's racism. You've just seen the black.
It's not just black.
It's the black person that you saw.
Not only
okay, that's the word I'm looking at. It's my people.
They've called even their prison. They're prisoners.
Yeah.
They're
people now.
So they are putting you in the same.
We don't ask Americans.
Yes. So I wanted to say something. Okay. Let me tell you where I fault government. You know that if you go to England, one naira, $1 is about 1,500 naira, whatever it is. If you go to England or America, you cannot eat with $1 or £1. You cannot, under any circumstances, buy any food for £1. You are on your own if you have £1. But in Nigeria, you have 1.5. You will eat. You will be full. Let us start to sell that. What's government doing? Start to sell that. No matter. See, go with £1. You can't eat anything in England or America. Go with $1,000 to any Yabuka. You will eat something.
Okay. On that note, we have to wrap up. Let's start there. We get
start selling your country.
So I think in a nutshell, obviously, we must have. I like what you use, the patriotism. You must also, if you're going to relocate or migrate, let's be for the right reasons. Don't go there to enslave. You're going there because you want economic prosperity for yourself, not necessarily because you want to jackpot, which is just to escape, just leave. That's what the Bible. Okay, let's go on a short break. When we come back, we bring in our first guest. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
Ladies and gentlemen, we have Made Kuti in the view. It's still 7 of 7, and we've been doing a whole lot of protesting. The only thing that remains is just to carry placard.
It's about 5 of 7, to be honest. Because, ask your question. I have so much to speak about once we finish.
We'll not give you the time because it's 7 of 7.
I will make the time now. He said he will not ask questions about science.
No.
Neuroplasticity.
And based on
he asked a question that was subjective about high life, and he did not finalize his answer about a Kuti question where there are only 3 of us.
Editor, scratch this part out.
That could have possibly composed the music.
Editor, scratch this part out.
Stupidity is an act of ignorance.
Hey God, Made.
Was composed by which Kuti?
Femi Kuti.
Is that your final answer?
God. Shehu Kuti. No, wait, Femi Kuti.
You said
Femi Kuti. Wait.
You can't be allowed.
No, you've not asked me anything.
Everyone.
You've not asked me anything. So my final answer.
No. All I have to say is this show is really about drinking.
Yeah, that's the whole idea.
The questions don't matter.
That's the whole
Justice
idea.
is out the window.
We throw caution to
We
the
have
wind
no
right
morals here.
On the 7 of 7.
So, have you ever wondered what happens behind the curtains of a man's mind? Or perhaps you're one of those who wonder what men talk about when they gather. Well, here goes. Imagine what it takes to put together the perfect cocktail. Or maybe mocktail. We need a bit of sports, a sprinkling of current affairs, some very deep topical issues.
Thanks for staying with us. So June, the month of June, is Men's Mental Health Awareness Month. We didn't even know that. And not too many people are aware. Countless times in our society, men suffer in silence and are told to man up or toughen up, keep their head down and suppress their emotions, that it's okay not to be okay and still be a man. According to reports, 1.6 million men have tried, 525,000 men have died. Those are numbers very, very, every single year that we lose to suicide. They've tried to, about over 1 million tried to commit suicide. Join us now on the show is Abiodun Okuntola, a mental health advocate and executive director, Mental Aware Nigeria Initiative. Welcome to the show, sir.
Thank you very much. Thank you so much for having me.
So, you know, it's not usually very popular to talk about men's mental health because we just assume that they're okay, they're men, you know, it's a patriarchal society, they got it, you know.
Absolutely.
But could you give us an idea the kind of circumstances men go through that could cause their affect their mental health?
All right, thank you so much. Mental health as it is an issue that a lot of us are actually scared about. I've gone on different campaigns that when you talk about mental health, the response you get is, I don't have mental health. I've forgotten the fact that everybody has mental health. The way we have physical health, we have mental health. Now, a lot of circumstances actually make men suffer more because of the society we grew up. There is this societal norms as, like Muriel mentioned, men must man up. When you express emotion, they see you as a weak vessel. When you express emotion, you are not expressing that masculinity again. And truth be told, economy itself is putting pressure on men, providing for the family, trying to scale. Look at the conversation we just had now, trying to scale the orders of the country, the orders of our economy, putting pressure on mental health generally, but more on men. And that is why the number you quoted earlier, more than 1 million individuals actually attempted to kill themselves. Because society does not allow me to show my emotion. I cannot tell my friend that this is what I'm experiencing because once I mention it, I become a vessel of ridicule. Once I tell a friend that, okay, I feel this, my girlfriend abused me, this and that, they started saying different things. In one way or the other, I want to go to my shell. It's better I don't say anything. And the more I build on that, the more that keeps in me, I keep giving myself solutions in my head. Okay, do you think I should just kill myself rather than facing this shame? Okay, do I think I should resort to substance abuse? At least I can go to the bar and take a number of bottles. Okay, I can decide to, if I'm not drinking, what other substance can I take? At least I will forget what I'm experiencing at the moment. So these are a lot of things that men go through And truth be told, this is the reason why month of June it's actually dedicated to men's mental health awareness. Let us tell our men that they need to speak up. You don't need to die in silence. I know a lot of things might warrant you want to keep to yourself and die in silence, but yeah, help is out there.
So sir, what will you say is the gender-specific sort of mental health men go through? So is it that they have more depression, more schizophrenia? Do they have a specific gender one that they go through? And why is it peculiar? Yes, what triggers it? Okay, so there is no specific mental health illnesses peculiar to men. Men and women can experience different mental health issues at any time. Now, why some can be, in quotes, can be seen more in men is because men don't speak. Men don't speak. Now, there is a statistic shows that more women will attempt suicide, but more men actually succeed. More women will attempt it. When it comes to success, more men succeed suicide. Why? Because in all ramifications, men has everything planned out. I want to enter marriage, I've planned it out. By second year in marriage, I'm giving birth to first child. The third year in marriage, I'm buying this. Third year, everything has been specific, more strategic. So when they are planning killing themselves, they strategically plan everything. And trust me, high rate of success in men. So there is no mental health illness that is peculiar to men. Men and women experience mental health illnesses at different times.
So you mentioned men have to learn to speak up.
Absolutely.
So with women, you know, in families, you know, gatherings, we have places where we can go and speak.
Absolutely.
So my question is now for the other men who may not be in this situation. Do they provide, are there places that a man can go and have conversations and speak up without being shamed? And why is it so hard for men to come together to empower each other that way?
Okay, so let me start from the second one. Why is it so difficult for men to empower themselves? Because of what the society has placed on men. It is very, very difficult for us to come out and say, guys, let's talk about our mental health. Because once I'm the one leading that conversation, other men are seeing that as a weak individual. So it has actually covered and protected me from coming out and say, let's talk about it. And there are different places men can sort help. For instance, my organization, in fact, we have made it so simple for men to speak out. You don't need to see the person you are talking to. You don't need to see your counselor. You don't need to see eyeball to eyeball. We have developed a particular app that all you need to is to chat on WhatsApp. As if you're just doing your normal conversation with your friend. You're chatting and you're getting the necessary help that you need. Some months ago, I ran a campaign that focused on men alone. Men can dial a number. Once they dial the number, somebody picks it up from the office and attend to their case pro bono. So there are a lot of places. I can start mentioning. There are a lot of organizations that are ready to help men.
There's a school of thought that says that the kind of men we're raising these days are somewhat like sissies. They don't have the manly temperaments that we grew up seeing our fathers, you know. You know, we hear of stories like Daniel, David in the Bible, Abraham, Moses, all those men. They are men's men, you know, who are carrying the children of Israel.
Yeah.
You know, so, and you're thinking that's the picture you have of a man.
Absolutely.
And when you see your husband, your father, that's the picture you have. Today's men are also, mental health, you know, society, the economy. And people are thinking, when we talk about mental health issues with men, are we demasculating, what's the word I'm looking for? Emasculating them? Are we making them weaker? In the regard, it's just a school of thought I wanted to just address because people feel that as much as it's great to address their mental health issues, but we also don't want a man not to be a man.
Absolutely.
We want them to be man as men are supposed to be because they're the one leading us. And if they now start crying on mental issues, then all of us are crying together.
Absolutely. All right, so let me start by saying that this school of thought you mentioned is what led us where we are now. Men must toughen up. Men must be a man. That masculinity must actually show at all times. That is the reason why we are where we are. That is why we have high rate of individuals attempting suicide every now and then. That is why we have high number of
different problem,
men.
not that issue.
No, that's actually it. That's actually it. So we are not saying we want to, we don't want men to be masculine again. What we are saying is, yes, you have an issue. Talk about the issue. Just the way I have a cancer, and I can go to hospital and seek help, and I can be a man again, even despite the cancer. Same as you have mental health illness. Speak about it, seek help, get the necessary help. Then you are still a man. It doesn't make you less of who you are. It doesn't make you less of what you want to be. It only helps you to go through that situation you are at that very point in time.
So what role does drugs play in this? Because driving around Lagos alone is the men you see on the streets on the I know the clear game. You know, a lot of this abuse and substance abuse that you see. What role does it play in the high rate of men attempting suicide and men not able to cope with mental health issues?
Okay, so when it comes to substance abuse, like I mentioned earlier, men, because of the way we express the emotion, we don't like to speak out. Most times, we always resort to substance to quench whatever we are going through at that particular time. You know that something happened to me, I'm ashamed of myself. So for me to face the crowd again, I need to do something that can make my eyes sharp. So men, most times, slide to substance so that they can feel masculine again. So that is more reason why we have substance abuse in our society. Because men don't like expressing emotion. The way they can express their own emotion is to get something to hate themselves so that people will not see the weakness.
But don't you think this starts from when you are a baby, when you are a small child? Because what happens is when the girl child cries, they...
Absolutely.
Sorry.
Somebody is petting.
But when the boy child, come on, stop crying.
Absolutely.
How are you going to be a man if you... So men are never allowed to express their... Even from babyhood, they're not allowed to express their emotions. They're not allowed to cry. Then when you now allow your boy child to cry, they'll say, he's become...
He's becoming a woman.
Honestly, crying. Like
honestly, that's a very, very true thing. Something happened to me some weeks ago. I went out with my child. He's a 3-year-old boy. And the boy started crying. And a friend said, stop crying, you're a man. I said, leave him, let him cry. Because this is exactly the way we grew up. Leave him, don't cry, you are a man, don't cry.
It would be counterproductive for a man who's told to cry when he wants to, and he grows up crying at every problem he faces, instead of, facing it. Because there's a part that, a man plays in life.
Yes.
Manning up, defending.
Absolutely.
You providing. Absolutely. And if you are raising your boy to cry, he can't cry into adulthood. Is that not a problem in itself?
Okay, the crying is not crying at everything. Crying at a specific thing. You know that sometimes you just feel like crying because of some things you are going through. And when you finish crying, you feel good. And you face it. So the crying is not that you cry at all things that happens to you. Cry at a specific
that's why I'm saying it's now.
Because I think because it makes sense, because even the girls that are allowed to cry, that does not mean that we are crying up and down. We just understand that we can express our emotions. But I would like to know, because men are so insular and they keep everything to themselves, are there things that I can notice, maybe in a partner or a friend, that can help me realize that they may be going through a problem and then provide my support?
Absolutely. A lot of things that you can notice. When you've seen a change in a pattern, probably I'm your friend, I go out at this particular period of time, you've known that by me. And suddenly I stopped going out. I like hanging out with friends. I stopped hanging out with friends. I love this particular kind of meal. I stopped taking it. I started withdrawing from the society, started withdrawing from friends and family. That tells you that something is wrong with me. So there are a lot of things we can easily identify. I stopped talking to friends. I stopped doing what I enjoyed. Men enjoy football. And suddenly I stopped watching football. You do everything manly possible to make me watch. I did not watch. Then somebody tells us that there is a problem somewhere.
Well, what is the kind of support I'll give? I saw one meme this morning. It says, sometimes our issues are just financial issues. Don't sit me down and be giving me 8 hours of advice. And with men, I feel that most of their triggers is financial.
Yeah.
And in this present economy, everywhere, everything is tough. And I don't have the money to give you. What other ways can I help someone who has a financial problem?
In the present economy, everybody is mental.
Okay, so in such scenario, of course, you don't have funds to offer. Of course, you don't have any aid that person actually needs at that time. Word of encouragement goes a long way. As simple as, don't worry, it will be fine. We are in it together. I mean, this economy as you are. Let's keep doing what we are doing, and we are going to break through. As simple as the word of encouragement. It don't bring the money, yes. It don't bring, but it encourages. It relieves the person at that time. And when you discover that it's going beyond what you can handle, you can easily point them directly where the help is. Point them to where they can get the help.
Maybe because, I mean, if I'm thinking about the economy and you tell me, don't worry, everything will be fine. I would not even, that will not encourage me. That would just depress me more. Like, yeah? Tell me, how am I going to feed? How am I going to pay my salaries? How am because sometimes that word of encouragement you're talking about does not really work. Because the reality is, I need to put food on the table.
Yeah. The word of encouragement does not really work because of what you are expecting at that time. That doesn't mean that the word of encouragement does not work. At that time, you need money. So the only thing in your head is, where is the money? So that doesn't mean that the word of encouragement does not work. In some instances, after that specific scenario, you can remember the word of encouragement and it helps you push further.
So I had an uncle who was discussing employment between a boy and a girl. And he kept saying the boy instead of the girl. I was like, the girl to go to school. He said, no, it will be somebody's responsibility. Somebody who must provide for her. If she's not married, her parents or family member will shield her. But this man, his mother will call him. His father, his sisters will call him. His father will call him. You know, his wife will call him. And so he would rather, provide provide a job for the boy as opposed to the girl. And we carry advocacy of a girl child. So these conversations, when we have them, sort of, for me, create that imbalance again. What exactly should we do when it comes to, economic empowerment for across gender? Because the conversation is endless.
Okay, so I believe it has to be on equal basis. It has to be on equal basis. We should not prioritize one gender above the other. That you are trying to provide every means of livelihood for the man or for the guy, and you are trying to sideline the female. It's not a conversation we should be having. Everybody should have an equal ground to express themselves and to be exposed to life.
But you see, there's an angle I like to come in here. Because when men come to you, for example, to express their deepest hurts, and the women in their lives are the problem, where these women are the ones, they are trying really hard to help their family. But the women in their lives are making things difficult. What kind of advice would you give a man who really wants to help his family, but everything is just working against him?
Okay, so I will assume by saying that that person has identified the woman in his life as the trigger.
Yes.
So once you have identified a trigger, all you need to do is to start working around that trigger. There are marriage counselors. Walk up to marriage counselor, let them counsel. The counselor will not be one-sided, it will be two-sided. Two-way counseling. The man will be counseled, the woman will be counseled, and you will discover that at the end of the day, two of them will find an equal ground, and they will find a way to help themselves. The man will help the woman will help the man, and two of them will succeed together.
Then let's find your triggers.
Yeah. Okay, you know that with many of the issues we discussed about women, we always ask for allies in men. We need allies. Do you think that there are anything specifically you want to say to the female gender to be better allies for men in mental health issues?
Okay, I think what I would say to female gender is we need help. When you identify and you discover that this guy needs help, please, if you cannot provide the help, point us to where the help is available. Most times you hear a lot of guys talked about what Murtala mentioned just now. The women in their life are the stressors.
How let's say you are forget wife. Let's say you are the mother in their life.
Yes, mother can be stressors. Okay. Mother can be. So
in what way will she be stressing?
Oh, we just talked about finance not long ago.
For wife?
No, even for mothers and parents.
Yeah. They will not accept your wife. I will not accept your children.
They are not accepting the wife you brought to the house because they want you to marry a particular tribe or the other. They can be, permit me to use the word, pain in the house. They can be a stressor in your life.
Permit you to use that word.
Unpermitted.
They can be a pain. They can be the huge stressor in your life. And once you have identified, please, men like myself, the first thing we think about is to run away. That's always our first thing. But do you know that running away will not solve the problem? Every one of us can seek help. You can point your mother to where she can have a counselor talk to her better, and she has better understanding of what she's doing to you, what is the repercussion of what she's doing to you.
Which mother? Wait, is it more in her tone? Sorry, is it more in her tone? Just please help us. Is it more in her tone? Is it the tone that she uses? What could be the issues for men that irritates them?
Okay, most times, the approach. You know, men, we have this ego. Okay. We have this ego, and once that ego is punched with the tone of the tone, the kind of words, the way you carry your body, even when you are talking to the guy, it commands different information in the head of that guy. Like, why are you talking to me like this? I'm still a man now.
No. We are here for them. I want to see how best to. So, we're constantly trying to, walk the line of not being too permissive with a child that maybe we think is badly behaved, and then also not being rude. So what will be the best balance? I really want to know what will be the best balance for me. I'm dealing with someone. I feel that I need to speak in a certain tone. I need to, show that so that this man will finally, or this boy will finally get it. But, how is it that...
To identify that balance.
Yes, what's the balance? What would be the best way to approach that?
The best way to approach is to study that person you are trying to find the balance with very well and understand. You see, when you study people, you can easily know how to deal with that person. I have a lot of staffs in my organization, and trust me, I deal with each of them differently. Because I understood how I can deal with this person. If I deal with A, the same way I'm dealing with E, there will be a problem. So I deal with them.
We have to wrap up very soon, but there's a final thing. I have to wrap up, I'm sorry, but there's a final thing I think is important for you, because a lot of women always seek knowledge, always look for information. You are here because you went to seek knowledge on mental health. A lot of men don't want to seek knowledge. They rather just stay because they believe they know it. There's nothing you want to teach me. Absolutely. So I'd like you to just talk to men out there that how they can actually get information on how to have a healthier mental health.
So thank you so much. I would say to my gender out there that help is readily available. You cannot help yourself until you understand. If you don't understand, you won't be able to help yourself. Go on internet, search about mental health, search about what you think you are feeling. You are feeling so-called depressed, you are feeling unhappy, you are feeling moody. Search about it, read about it, understand everything you need to understand about it. Then in that you're reading and studying, something will point you to where help is available.
Right.
Trust me, my organization is always available to help.
Thank you so much. I think that's all we can take on this segment. Let's go on a short break now. When we come back, we continue with the show. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
Stay tuned. Your View will be right back.
The time has come to experience the power.
show starts in 3, 2, and...
We're here again on your screens this beautiful morning doing what we do best.
Give Boogie have attention. In terms of human development, the importance of early childhood education can't be overstated. A child's early years are the foundation of his or her future development, providing a strong base for lifelong learning and learning abilities, including cognitive and social development. Welcome. We're going to be talking right now about the importance of early education in the life of a child. We're speaking to us right now is a business expert columnist and speaker, Caroline Popoola. Welcome to the show, madam.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much for having me. It's lovely to be here. I can't see you guys, though. But it's fine.
Great. Fantastic. So
thank you so much for having me. I wish I could see you guys, but last year I came on. I saw you guys when I came to the studio, and I took pictures of you guys, and I'm like, yes, I can't wait to come back here. Look at it. So thank you.
We're glad to have you back. All right, so let's talk about early childhood education. You know, there's always that issue of the importance of it, because many families have different views. Some believe that children shouldn't start school until maybe 3 years old. Others believe that children can go to school from the moment they are born, you know, from creche. So there's always that conversation of when is the best time. What in your work with early childhood development, could you give us an idea of the best time to start childhood education?
Every family is different. Thank you so much. That's a lovely question. Family is different. Obviously, my parents, I was born in the UK, or grew up in Nigeria for a little while to the age of 16 and came back here. And I guess the culture, if we're taking the culture into account, the culture we have in Africa, you know, obviously it takes a village to raise a child, and that's brilliant. However, I would say, but here in the UK, obviously, depending on if in the past, when we were younger, parents, you have one income family, they're fine to look after themselves. So that means mom can look after the children whilst dad goes to work. But obviously, we know what the economy has become now. Both families have to go to work, which means the children have to go to a space like a creche, a nursery, preschool, or whatever it is. So they start here from the age of 3 months. We have parents that will start exactly dead on 3 months. And if you allow them, they start later and earlier if possible. But the most important thing is the fact that it's so crucial for a child's development, regardless of what age they start. This is what forms the adult. It's what they've done. I mean, research has shown that what we've done to a child between the 3 months or 5 months or whatever to age 5 is what forms the adult. You know, the emotional intelligence, the social intelligence, and so on. It's really important. I listened to the conversation you had just now with the gentleman. When we talk about, obviously, men cry or don't cry, or you can have where parents decide you want girls to play with dolls and boys to play with cars. This is where there's that collaboration of girls doing what boys can do, and we don't feel there's no gender biasness, and you feel like, oh, you can do better, or somebody else is better than you, and you feel inferior or someone's superior. These are the things school do. These are the things parents do. These are the things we need the community, the government to know and to help us bring the children up together. Right. So early years, definitely, there's no set age. However, it's important that before the age of 5, whatever you put into that child is what really brings out that adulthood.
What would you say this childhood education should look like? Because for some of us, we see some really young children, barely, in their toddler years, being asked to recite some, figures. And is that what you're talking about? But if it's not, what do you think is the ideal sort of education for, a child at that age?
Thank you so much. Honestly, it brings so much tears. Even just you asking that question brings a lot of tears, because I feel for those children. There's a lot of learning that can be done. For example, what we've been taught is there's 7 areas of learning, which again, it's knowing the child's interest and teaching them along their interest. And they still know their numbers, their colors, and their calculations and all of that. But there is something called, if you develop a child too quickly, and the simple tasks, the simple social skills they don't have. You have lots of adults now that are in university, but they don't even know how to put together a simple conversation, or maybe a telephone interview or things like that, because they've not learned those soft skills. So what you're doing for a child is, when they're that age, is you're teaching them those tiny, minute skills that would really help them when they become older. So sitting a 2-year-old down and telling them to read the timetable, it hurts my heart. It pains my heart. It shouldn't be done. There was a video trending, and I posted it on my social media recently, and it's where parents don't have an expectation, and the school don't have they haven't communicated with parents what value they had into your child or to your family. So the video trending is like, obviously some parents have sent their children to school, and a lady walking on the street saw these children with buckets of water on their head. And you just think, how could you? Right. Sees fit to say, all right, go and fetch water. It's that about.
So what should be?
So for me, it's those soft skills that you're teaching children from that early age that really grows them into that incredible adult. So it's not the fact that they must know their timetable from the age of 2. That pains my heart. We don't do that.
Okay, so what exactly would you say should be done, as an option to, an alternative to, the jealousy? Because what you're explaining is, where kids just go to buy time and they're made to recite whatever the teacher is disposed to, giving them per day. What options would you say they, should be in the curriculum to engage those kids, aside them just sleeping all day?
I agree. They're learning in so many ways. And yes, I mean, I saw a video of children washing in a very good school in Nigeria, and they're learning to wash the chairs and clean, that's good learning. It's good. We do things like that here. So it's where teachers themselves, where are our teachers themselves mentally? Do they even understand the reason for what they're doing or the job they're doing? That's the first thing. Do we have quality assurance across all of our settings, across all of our schools? Because yes, there has to be funding, and I'll be lying if I really come on here and say I expect the government to put money in it. I expect the government to put money in it. There's no money in it. They're not putting money in it. Even here in the UK, they're not putting money in it. However, it doesn't mean money is everything. Yes, it's a start, and it would really encourage teachers to be better, but they will only be better because they know better. If we can put so much funding in it, but at the same time, if they haven't changed their mindset in what they're teaching the children and how children learn in school and outside of school, then it's back to square one. So I think you said jealousy, I haven't heard that thing in a very, very, very long time. School can teach children is the teachers first. They need to know, and once they know that they can teach in different method, different way, in and out of classroom, rich or poor children, the same method, it would work. Okay. Right. So the jealousy, it wouldn't make any difference. Okay. Generally, it would not make any difference.
Yeah, are you saying...
His teachers know what they're teaching, yeah.
That trending video of the children carrying the concretes in the buckets and the woman was challenging her. Are you saying it was okay for the children to carry the buckets?
Definitely not. Because, I mean, can you imagine? I know we're all mature. My children my youngest is 16, but that's not what I've sent my children to school for. I'll give an example here. So, for example, we have TV screens, but we don't watch TV because if you pay me £1,600 for your child to watch TV, that we tend to do. If it's not in our learning, in our lesson plan, to show the children for 10 minutes, maybe a story, my team will stop the learning. That goes to the parents every time. So they know that for 10 minutes, this is going to happen as lesson plan. Do the parents know what they're getting? Do the schools even know what they're giving to the children in terms of learning?
All right, let me come in this angle because, you know, I live in Nigeria and I see different kinds of children and how we raise our kids. And there's something we have totally jettisoned, which is the local education, traditional indigenous education that children usually used to learn from home before even being exposed to Western education. You know, I always tell proudly that my husband always tells me that he never started speaking English until he entered GSS1. His entire life, he spoke Yoruba in the house, and even made him speak English much better. And even we've seen kids where they don't even start school because they want them to get the local training. In your view, as a child expert, child education, would you prefer a situation where, in Africa especially, we come back to that indigenous learning for children before they go into exposed to Western education? Because sometimes when we grow up as adults, we lose identity. We don't really know who we are. All we know is foreign. So do you think if we want to fix Africa or help Nigeria, it could be better for us to begin to reconsider that mode of education? Do you think?
Yeah. See, if I had my way and if I was ever asked to change policy, I would actually incorporate our local with the foreign. I would incorporate that nicely because if you think I'm praying, I hope I haven't turned out too badly because I was raised with that moral, that culture, and at the same time, I came and know better and did better. So I would definitely, if I had the chance to change the curriculum, I would incorporate and marry both. Definitely, there's a place for where our culture and our indigenous learning stand. Definitely, I agree with you 101%. I would, because even in the UK, we have Christian schools that literally all talk about Christian values. We have Muslim schools that all they do is talk about Muslim values. However, they incorporate the learning into these practices. And that's what we need to do. Right. We can have our culture and have our way of doing things, our Yorubas and stuff, and still incorporate early learning or early development into all of those curriculums. And it is possible. I would never say we should do away with one and take one. Never say that. There's a place for both of it, and it can be married together nicely.
All right.
Okay, so for me, beyond like cultural or religious, influences, there's something that's always bothered me. Like when we were growing up, you would wake up in the morning, you would do your chores, you have things to do, and then you go to school. Now our children are woken up early to brush their teeth, have a bath, and rush off to school to learn the books. So, if education is about learning life skills, are we not doing it wrong now? They spend so many hours in traffic just to get to school to read the books.
So it's about learning life skills. But again, when you go to these schools, what are the learning that they're teaching the children? Because again, when they go to the schools, they're meant to have these life skills as well. So for example, we have children brushing their teeth at school. We have them washing at school. So you teach them, it's all part of learning. It's all part of the social development stage of the children, the emotional learning. That's all part of it. You know, so definitely it can be incorporated. And it's where the parents are then saying to the teachers are saying to the parents, this is what we're going to be teaching. This is what they're going to get out of it. What's the outcome? We should always think about what the outcome is. The outcome is we want to raise good children that understand cleanliness and all of that. So I hear you loud and clear that they rush them to school. But again, when they get back, parents should not just leave them. Parents should also take on board that, okay, we've done some learning in school. Let's do some learning at home, maybe doing our chores and things like that. Definitely.
So what I hear my colleague ask is, you know, what should the timing be like? My kids' school, when they are in the last class of nursery, I think nursery final class, they're meant to bring not the complete pair, one sock to school that is dirty. And that whole day is class day. My son said, today we were learning how to wash socks. It didn't make sense, you know, that, you know, the only thing they do that day is wash their socks. So the school will provide a bowl for each child, you know, socks, and they'll wash it. There's another day they bring a brand of toothpaste to school, and all they do at that last class is brush their teeth. You know, anytime, because we brush, and you see, and you insist that, you know, this one keeps the plague away, you know, and they just keep repeating it in my ear. What exactly is the best stage for a child? What age? What class? You know, do they put this inculcate this into learning at school for them?
They can start at any age, because with every age group they have their learning skills and what they should learn at any age. And every child is different. You understand? Every child is an individual as well. So what your first child would learn at maybe 6 months, your other child may learn at 4 months because they've watched somebody else do it. So again, but there's no set age of when they have to learn certain things. But the most important thing is that they actually have those skills. That's the most important. Can you hear me?
Yeah. We know the UK internet is not very effective.
What's your take on homeschooling?
We are managing.
Sorry?
Your take on homeschooling?
Yes. Oh, it's brilliant. Whilst I didn't have any of my children schooled at home, obviously due to work pressure, but if you have the time for it, but the best part is the fact that it still needs to be monitored.
Yes.
So it's not just parents putting a book in front of a child and letting them get on with it. It still has to be monitored. And that's where quality assurance comes into play. Regardless of what educational system we have in place, whether we're using our local system or we're using the foreign curriculum, we need to have quality and so that we're adhering to the learning, and the children are meeting the milestones that are set for them at the different age stages that they're in. So definitely there has to be quality assurance involved, and this is where the government comes in.
So what would you say the milestones should be? I'd like, just because we have viewers watching, what would be the milestones? How can a parent measure that your child is doing well?
For a start, when you take your child to school, what are your expectations? Have you communicated that clearly with the school? And what is the school giving back to you? As in, like, because your child is here, these are the things we're going to follow. These are the things we're going to read. They can't just tell you that, oh yeah, we're going by the British curriculum, which is what a lot of people say. Really? It could be just a computer in front of your child. And especially this day and age of AI, you just have a classroom, the children are sitting there, you're paying so much money, children are sitting there, no interaction, no conversation from the teacher, no explanation. They just have this AI person that's just talking. Where is that human interaction? Where is that the fact that the child needs to feel? So do you know what they're teaching your children? Do you have that termly assessment? Do you have that meeting with the school? And what they're telling you that they've taught your child, is that generally what they've taught your child? Do they send that to you? Do you have lesson plans? You know, I know we're very busy parents, don't get me wrong. But I know with our culture, we do have lots of nannies and stuff. Again, it's having to let the nannies be involved in this learning styles. It's the nannies have to be, everyone has to be involved. That's why we say it takes a village.
Yes.
The nannies have to be involved.
Yes. You know, one of the things I hear about childhood education is that it's so important that it may affect you in your future. But we come from a country where the numbers are scary. Out of school children, the rate of illiteracy, there's so many children who are not in school yet. And maybe, you know, God willing, in the future, they then start school. When they miss those first few years, is it a zero, no, nothing can be helped, you know? Or, you know, there's always a chance that whenever you finally get to have education, it can make up for the years you were unable to?
That's a really tough question. Definitely. There's nothing there's ever too late. I mean, you have people that never start reading until they maybe get to secondary school, and all of a sudden something just clicks and they get it. But again, it's that thing, I think it was Nelson Mandela that said something along the line, the best thing you can ever give a child is education. You know, and that's what it's about. If we have the opportunity to start now, let's start. If we have the opportunity to start with the young ones, let's start. But the ones that are out of school, what are we doing about it? And this is where I feel collaboration, that word, we throw it about a lot, or do we generally practice it? So it's one thing, for example, this is our third year, we're coming in this third year to do stuff around education, early years, and so on in Nigeria. And we've pulled in other educators that are doing things so lonely by themselves. Originally, we've pulled them together because one, I don't know the culture of Nigeria as such in terms of what the people need. So it makes sense to collaborate together because one person can do how many, but two of you can do so many together. It's like taking a bucket to the sea and using a cup to try and fill up the sea. It's not going to work, but collaboratively. So we can see where the gaps are. What children are not in school? What can we do about it? How can we start? And it's not something that one person can do. But giving up is not an option. We can't give up. It is our country. We need to do better. And it's only when we know better we can do better.
Okay.
So there's something
I've said that before and I'm saying it again.
There's something I seriously regret about how I raised my kids is the language. You know, the early years of a child's life, I personally believe right now that the language of communication should have been my own dialect, and then later on let the child develop whatever language they grow. Because Miriam had asked this question now, you know, at what point can you, should you have started with your local dialect? And at what point can you then inculcate whatever form of, you know, accepted curriculum the country is using into that child's life? Because when we push our kids, we think because they have to speak English in school, they will not pass until we teach them English from home.
Yeah. If you notice, I'm laughing. That's because I'm guilty. I'm so guilty. And it's not for not wanting to. It's just one of those things that pass us by. But if you look at other cultures, like, I mean, I can talk for us here in the UK. If you look at other cultures like the Asians, for example, they start their children from age 0.
Yeah.
They speak the same. I mean, I have children coming into school where mom, I mean, I have a particular one at the moment where mom is Chinese, dad is Russian, and they live in the UK. The child had to learn to speak 3 languages. But guess what? That's the age in which they're like sponges. They soak it in so quickly so that we could. That's why it's so good if we have the opportunity to teach them languages. Definitely. Again, it's never too late. So we don't do regrets, right? Because you guys are positive ladies, you don't do regrets. So, I mean, my children will turn around now and say, Mom, it's your fault. You never taught us the language. And I guess, yes, you know. But if we have the opportunity to do it, let's do it. So even for our grandchildren, for those of us that are coming up to having grandchildren, yes, we should start it. There's nothing wrong. And there's no set age. It's even better for them. And the way the world is going, I mean, it's not even going to be enough for just one language anymore. We know it's not enough for just one language anymore.
All right,
definitely.
I was going through your CVs, rather impressive. You know, Oxford Business School, and you do some work. You have a foundation where you actually help businesses and even young children. Tell us a bit about your foundation, what you do.
So in the UK, what we do is we help So I've been part of your program from when you started. I was watching it today, and I heard what you know, the whole thing about the jackpot system and all this stuff. You know, just picked bits of it. And definitely, the grass is never green on the other side. But no one, regardless of how many times you tell people, they still want to see for themselves, and it's not an issue. So we have a particular set of children here in the UK where they haven't got food, they're not entitled to the benefit system and so on. And they've jackpot from wherever the African country they've come from. So my company, my charity, as a result of blessed enough to actually feed 150 of them. And some of them, as a result of us being very churchy, you know, the children have got pregnant. So you have 17-year-olds, 16-year-olds that are pregnant and had babies. So again, we have those ones, they have them housed, and we would just feed them. We just provide groceries and food for them. So that's one of the things we do in the UK here, and hopefully to do more. However, in Nigeria, we're blessed enough, again, to be able to send some children to school. And we don't just do the 1 year, we actually carry them along. So we've done the same children for 3 years and add on more children every year we come back to Nigeria. So we're pushing them along from nursery all the way to primary 6. And if God blessed us enough, as far as the education can go, as far as they want to go. So that's what we're doing at the moment. But again, it's knowing it's nobody's fault. No child ever decides, I want to be born into Caroline's home in the UK, or I want to go to Tosin's home in Nigeria. No child decides that. They don't have that choice. So it's where they find themselves. What are we doing as parents, as practitioners, as a community to help these children be better? Because at the end of the day, guys, it's going to be our fault as a community. Then what are we raising? Criminals later on in the year, prostitution later on in the year, and so many other things. So we need to start now. What is it? Where are we now? What can we do now? Rather than giving up, let's start now. It's never too late to start.
I think we can wrap up on that. Thank you so much, Caroline Popoola, for joining us this morning. I think it was a pleasure having you on the show to get some.
Thank you so much.
Ladies, any
Thank
comments?
you so much for having me. I can't wait to see you guys in real life.
Yeah, so we would love to have you back.
Yeah, so we had messages on our first earlier topic, men's health. Ogumola Emmanuel said, compassion is often extended to women who recognize their vulnerability and will seek to ease it. The stark truth is that men rarely receive same assistance. We're expected to confront all challenges heads on, irrespective of how involved or our reliability is not just expected, but demanded. He's saying, you come, they cry like adults. Fact, in not allowing men to be men, we are creating new problems. We'll see in future. Society think it eats its cake and have it. He also says that men are being raised, the men we are raising today are sissies responding. He said, fact also, the problem will get worse in future with increasing shaming of masculinity and feminization of men. Society thinks it's eating its cake again and having it. Samuel Olukolu says, desperate move from Russia to desperados. Testament to the fact that they may be losing the war. People only have to choose. It's not an option choice after all.
The Russians are desperate. The Nigerians are when they are desperate.
Yes, says, typical of tyranny rule. Why impose such condition on migrants when it wasn't part of the conditions to be met for visa issuance in the first instance? It's demeaning. Imagine such absurdity in 2024. I hope the families of those students will tell them it's okay to return home. And she says, so I think in response to Nigerians, so they too would rather go to war for Russia than return to their homeland. If that's the case, it goes to show even they don't value their lives. And let's not even attach economic poverty to this. That's poverty of the mind.
Sandra M. says, have you considered escape to help solve mental health issues? Examples like playing chess, snooker, karaoke, other things to help men ease.
I think that's all we can take on today's show. I really, really believe that the men's mental health topic is something that we need to visit again sometime in future, because I would like to have some men join the show just to hear them. It's a little bit. If we had our audience back, we have an audience full of men just to hear from them, because sometimes we don't give men enough platforms to express themselves. So we should plan a show where we have more men talk and express themselves.
Yes, I hear you about not giving. What men are on the show, they're talking political issues. It's mostly political, but it's their own personal.
Yeah.
You know, like we have this. We women, we talk about our. Let's have some men. Maybe
nice.
Well, are men willing, and would they be vulnerable?
We had a few of them. That's all we can take on today's show. Hope you learned a few things as we have. Have a great day. We'll see you tomorrow. Bye for now.